Houston, we have a problem.
This is bullshit. I'm not listening to this. You are insane.
No, you're insane. You simply do not have time for this crap.
I'll use small words that you'll be sure to understand, you warthog-faced buffoon.
You shut your foul mouth!
Yeah, that's my message for you. Fuck you and kiss my ass.
You two are just dumber than a bag of hammers.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. May God have mercy on your soul.
You are now tuned in to Dusty Vision Radio.
Dusty Vision Radio, Super Audio Network. And Dre Day, I guess we're supposed to be afraid again.
I turn my mic. Yep.
God damn it. How long have you been doing this, Dre?
Years.
Years.
7-8 years now.
Dude. So, so I guess the topic of the day is coronavirus again. And
I don't know what to do anymore, man.
I
don't know what to. I think we should just sleep the next couple of years out, just give up, like the Great Depression back in the days. Those people just gave up a couple of years and then come out the other end, hopefully whole.
I don't know, man. We're going to get into that a little bit later, but I don't want to leave our guest, one of our guests of the night, waiting. So I'm really excited to chat with her. Her son was on our show recently, Dre.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and she hit me up, shot me a Facebook DM. It gave me a little snapshot of, her life, and told me that she would love to come on and chat with me about the other side that people don't get to see, which is the family that's affected by gangs and gang activity and gang life, specifically the mothers. We all pretty much love our mothers, right? Unless
most of us.
Most of us. I would say most of us do. Even if you hate your mom, you still love her.
Even psychopaths love their mothers.
Yeah. My mom's a psychopath, and I still love her.
There you go.
Love her to this day. Good woman. But you don't realize the family that you affect when you're out there, you know what I'm saying, putting in work and spending years in prison and putting your family through hell, basically. And it's a pleasure of mine to introduce, we're just going to call her NAOMI tonight, but she is on the line with us, and she is a mother of a gang member who was recently on our show. NAOMI, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
You look gorgeous, by the way. You are rocking it, girl. You look very good. Can't lie.
I appreciate that.
Well, thank you so much for, like I said, joining the show and hanging out with us. I got a chance to look at that video you sent me, and we're going to talk about that specifically because I don't want to give away too much of your story without you explaining it. But in my personal opinion, child predators and people who prey on kids are worse than murderers. They're worse than they're the scum of the earth. They don't realize that for whatever they're doing for those minutes, it's going to affect that person for life. Literally. And I bring that up because I would like to start at the beginning, fast forward a little bit to when you were 10 years old. And I want to hear it in your own words. What happened?
Okay. I came from a small town not far from where I live now. And my mother was a single parent, and our neighbors, the Bryants, they were like role models for me. And I used to go to church with them, and we didn't own a TV set. So I would go to their house and watch TV. And that was normal in my time. And Brother Joe, as we called him, he was sitting on the sofa.
Brother Joe.
Yeah, his name is Joe Bryant, Joseph
But
Bryant.
church, you call him brother, yeah.
Right. So he's sitting on the sofa, and he said, "NAOMI, come here." And so when I went over to him, his legs was wide open, and he pulled me between his legs. And I knew it was wrong, but I couldn't say anything. And about that time, my 16-year-old brother walked in the house. And that was his role model as well. And he turned and left, and I was on my own. And that haunted me for years. So I had to keep this secret. And on top of that, this went on for a year. I was 10. And my mother's best friend lived right across the road from us. And she sent me to borrow a cup of sugar from her best friend. And her daughter answered the door. And I think she was 11. And she had me to lay down on the floor, pull my underwear down, and just rubbed her body up and down. And she told me I better not tell anyone.
This is a separate occasion after Brother Joe?
Yes, but it's all going on at the age of 10.
Damn.
So she left and moved to Philadelphia, so I didn't see her until the death of my 2 sons. And then my mother boyfriend, she worked at a chicken plant, and his name was Jesse Hurt. And he left, she would leave at about 5 in the morning to get to her job. And he would come in the room and molest me. So, you know, I had 3 things going on at one time, basically.
At age 10.
Yes.
How did you ever trust adults after that?
I guess I just had to. I didn't know how else to respond because you couldn't let anyone know. But people knew he was a predator. But since he was prominent, had a little money, people kept it quiet. So I just went on, and I think at the age of 11, my girlfriend and I ran away, and we got caught. And I went to a reformatory school, my choice, because I knew if I went home, my mother was going to beat my ass. That's what they did in the day, back in the day. And you had to go get the switches, and you better not came back with a small one.
I remember that.
So I went to reformatory school in Southern Pines, North Carolina. And that was a whole new awakening because there were lesbians there, and I had no clue what a lesbian was.
Okay.
And girls would send me letters, and, you know, Valentine's Day, they send you the little hearts with the little things saying, I love you. So I wrote my mother a letter, and I told her if she didn't come and get me, that I was going to become a lesbian, not really understanding. So she came and moved to New Jersey. And that was a whole different story.
Wow, dang. Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. Now, I like how you, I obviously wish you would have done it sooner, and I know you have your reasons, but I like how you just outed them about like 6 months ago. You just put their names out there, right? To the world?
Yes, because protecting their families.
Because what? I'm sorry.
Because I was protecting their family.
Gotcha.
I'm still in the South in a small town. And some people won't believe because they don't want to because of him being who he was. But people know more things as the years gone by.
Yeah.
After he went away.
Damn. Well, let's fast forward a little bit. When did you have your son that was on my show?
1989.
Okay. Is he your? I know you had a few kids, and you lost a couple of them, unfortunately.
Right.
Where does he fall in line, age-wise?
He is 30.
Okay. So meaning is he the oldest, youngest, middle?
Is the 3rd child. I have another son younger. That's
Gotcha.
28.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, talk to me about specifically. What led up to your knowledge of him joining the gang and how you feel, you may have contributed to that.
I didn't really know till 11 years ago, right before he got incarcerated for the 10 years, which would have been 20, but he won an appeal. He got 10 years. I knew he was hanging out with a rough crowd. And actually, I learned more about my son on your show than I really knew until he started going to prison.
Wow.
Yes. Because when he told you about the stabbing, he told me that it was a riot, and the guy, he broke the nose of the guy. He didn't tell me about the knife involvement.
Oh, damn.
But you don't tell your mother everything because he knows I work about everything.
Of course.
And we had a lot of talks while he was incarcerated, and he would, how do I say? He would tell me his rap songs, and a lot of them were so good, and they would have me
really
cry.
good, by the way. Oh my God, that dude is amazing.
You should see the song that he did dedicated to my 2 brothers. His 2 brothers.
Ooh.
You can't listen to it without crying.
Wow, I would definitely hit him up and try to get my hands on that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So in prison, I learned a lot, and I traveled, I think, to every prison in North Carolina, sometimes driving as much as 4 hours one way just to have an hour visit. And you're supporting your child. And then, I'm trying to work through the issues that I was addicted to crack cocaine and to get some forgiveness from him and my all of my sons, which we have great relationships now. And I think he didn't know anything about my being molested until he was incarcerated. And I let the cat out the bag because I wanted them to understand that had a lot to do with me becoming addicted to cocaine, to numb me out. And I had to keep doing more to numb until finally it didn't work anymore. And I'm clean now. I'm proud of that.
Good.
My life is pretty good.
Good, good. Well, let's dig a little deeper. Something that you told me that I would love for you to talk to me about. A point in your life when you guys were sitting in the car.
Oh God, I'm gonna get emotional on this.
It's okay. Because, you look.
I got my tissue.
Yes, I see that. Came prepared.
Yes. Well, years ago, I had gotten into some trouble, and I was doing my drugs, and I was at my mom's house, and I had crack on me that I wanted to smoke. It was good back in the day, and my 3 sons were there, and they wanted to do something, but I wanted to do drugs. And he said, "Mama, please don't go." And I had to go and get high. And that's something I'd never seen him cry before. And that's a hard pill to swallow. That you'd rather go and get high on crack than to stay with your son that's pleading for you to stay. And he told me, "If you leave, Mom, I don't ever want to see you again." And I left anyway.
Wow. It had that much of a stronghold on you.
Yes.
Whew. Dang. So, talk to me about the day that you found out he got 10 years.
20.
Well, that's right. He got 20. Yeah. Talk to me.
First of all, I wanted to go to court with him to speak on his behalf, but he didn't want me to know the truth. So he told me I couldn't come and that the guys don't turn on you. They don't snitch. So my son isn't a snitch. He still tucked the rap even after they asked him to make a deal. And I was like, my whole life was like, I'm going to lose my son for 20 years. And I just lost 2 sons, in a car accident. And it just tore me apart. And, I'm thankful that he's home. I'm thankful that things are going his way now. But it's hard for a mother to have to run up and down the road to visit your son and then have to talk to him for 9 of those years through glass. I couldn't hold him. I couldn't hug him. It was just horrible.
Well,
I've had a life that everything that could happen to a person, I've been through it. And most people would not believe my entire story. And a lot of women have my story, but women are ashamed to tell their story. And there's some things that I am ashamed of that drugs took me to.
Yeah.
May I interrupt and say one thing? I have a poem.
Keep talking. Yeah.
That I wrote when I was in my addiction. I'm trying to write my book, but when I was on drugs, I could write because I didn't stop to feel the pain. You just could go zoom, zoom, zoom. But I just want to read a part of this, and I usually tell this poem when I do any type of speaking engagement at churches or women empowerment group. I hope I'm not taking over your show.
No, you please go, girl.
Okay. This is called My Lover in White. Was my everything. He would make me feel like no other. My lover in white would tell me what I wanted and needed to hear. There were days that I couldn't stay away from my lover in white, couldn't shower or eat. When I was with him, nothing else existed. My lover in white was everything to me. He taught me to lie, cheat, and steal. I was his one and only. My lover in white, my king. Friend, he was all that.
Damn.
I needed. No one else was more to me than my lover in white. My lover name was crack cocaine.
Dang. Well, you know what? I see where your son, I keep wanting to say his name, but I'll let you say his name if you want to. I see where your son gets his talent from, and it's really important to have an outlet like that, because in your darkest times, if you can write, if you can express yourself, if you can do what I do, like this is my therapy, getting to talk to people like you and to talk, when there's issues and stuff going on in the world. But yeah, no, that's deep. That's deep.
My life is deep.
Yeah. God.
And all I want to do is to help other people that can't talk about it, because your secrets is what keep you sick.
One person tonight is going to have their life changed. At least one person. I mean, and the good thing about this is going to be on YouTube forever. This is going to be on a podcast forever. So, 2, 3, 4 years down the line, decade down the line, someone's going to come across this, and they're going to know that they can make it out, on the other side. Because you lost 2 sons in a car accident.
One time.
Oh, my God. Dude, that's...
and
that right there would take me over the edge.
This is the sad part. My oldest son that was in the car, he had just got out of prison for doing 12 years. He had gotten a job and had been out 2 months, and then he was killed. And I was living in New Jersey, and we had made plans to have us all together for the graduation of my youngest son. And that didn't happen. So you should never put off what you can do. Because you just don't know what may happen.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're doing this. And if I can ask you one more question before we wrap it up, if you could,
yes, sir.
If you as a mother, in hindsight, if you could talk to, a young kid out there who's thinking of joining a gang, thinking of going that route, what would you tell him or her?
I would tell them to think about the people they love and the consequences they're putting their entire family and life in. And that, I wish that gangs, I know some of them will come together, that they would get together and do something positive, like telling the boys or young ladies, this is the consequences of what you do. And do something like Nipsey. Give back to the neighborhood.
Yes.
Just show love, because with this racist stuff, I hear a lot of comments saying they're looters, they're criminals. And sometimes it was outside forces from what I see. But it's just really sad. And I don't even make comments on Facebook and those little things they have.
Yeah.
Because I've been called a bitch. I've been told to go back where I came from. You got money, you can afford it. And these people don't even know me.
Yeah,
and
right now it's probably best not to comment on Facebook or Instagram or anything. Keep your opinion to yourself, because there's idiots out there, and you'll find yourself arguing with somebody on Facebook for an hour,
And you're not going to win.
You said it the best. You said it the best. Well, NAOMI, any last words before we wrap it up?
I would just like to say thank you, and that I hope the young people will take heed to this virus and really think about the consequences of being in the gang. It doesn't mean you're bad. You can do something positive to uplift other people. We're already getting destroyed by this virus. So let's grow. And it doesn't matter what color you are. Love everyone. And that's the best advice I can give. And this interview didn't go anyway that I thought it was going to go. But
it went great. No, I loved it too. It was natural. It's like we're talking. I mean, I'm looking at you. Can you see me? Can you see me waving at you?
Not well.
Now kind of. Unless the camera. It's okay. I was just curious.
But I really appreciate you giving me this opportunity.
Yes. And I appreciate you contacting me. And if you ever need anything, you have my number. I'm a DM away. You can hit me up on Facebook. And I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And I also appreciate you getting dressed up for me. That put the extra cherry on top of everything.
Well, I had to get dressed up for my date. I can't go out.
I feel you. I feel honored. Well, NAOMI, it's been a pleasure, and I look forward to talking to you soon.
Yes, and thank you, Dre, as well.
Oh, you're a sweetheart. Take care.
Good night.
Thank you. See, man, she made my night, dude. I can't even lie. She made my night.
I hear you.
She made my night. That was awesome, man. That was real cool. Well, Dre, let's get into some music, man, and then we'll introduce our in-studio guests who came to hang out with us, my boy Dino West and Isaiah. Let's get into one of their bangers, one of Dino's bangers, actually. It's called Hood Fellas, and it's featuring somebody else. I can't read it from here, but I could. Oh, there we go, right there. Duh. Boom. Oh, it is Hood Fella. Hood Fella featuring Dino West. I'm already high, sorry, guys. Hood Fella featuring Dino West. Seems like. Hit it, Dre. We'll be right back. Dusty Vision Radio, Super Audio Network.
I know how I feel to wake up in the hood. No job, no paper, trying to better yourself. No pops, no favors, nobody to love. In a world full of hatred, just I and self.